I've got some pamphlets on how to keep your grandkids, your kids, your neighbors, yourselves safe on, the Halloween safety type stuff. So we're going to get that passed out here in a second. Can you just pass those out for me real quick? Okay. So we're going to pass out some flyers. I don't have a million of them, but I have enough for at least a couple for each table. And a lot of the stuff for Halloween safety is the same stuff that you've probably heard about for the last 50 years or so. So just make sure if you got your grandkids or you're going out trick-or-treating with them, that you keep them safe when it comes to that you're with them, you're around with them, you help them if they need anything, and same thing with your neighbors and stuff like that. So I know a lot of you guys may or may not answer the door. So if you're not going to answer your door, make sure your lights are off. Your house is dark. And if somebody comes to your door, don't answer it. Okay? If you don't want to answer your door during that time period, during Halloween trick-or-treating tomorrow, don't answer your door. If somebody is persistent and continues to come to your door, don't answer it. Don't get in a confrontation with anybody. Give us a call. Dial 911. A deputy will come out and move them along appropriately, okay? So if you're not going to open your door, do that. If you're going to open your door, make sure you're prepared, you have your stuff ready, and don't let anybody into your house unless you know them, okay? Unfortunately, there are people out there that look for these type of opportunities to commit a crime, right? So if you don't know somebody, don't let them in your house. Basic stuff, but you can't get complacent just because it's Halloween and they're in a costume. You never know, okay? So if you don't know them, don't let them in your house, okay? With some of the Halloween safety tips for your family, your grandkids, I got a flyer that's going around. Make sure they're costumed. They have, they're wearing face paint instead of a mask because it gets dark early this time of the year, okay? And they can see appropriately because we don't want anybody to get hit by a car or walk into traffic because they can't see. And make sure if they're out there at night, they're wearing some reflective clothing, they have their flashlight, they're with adults, and if they're old enough to be without adults, you know where they are, or you make sure they have their cell phone with them so they can make a call, or you can call them at any times, okay? A lot of basic stuff that you've probably heard about over the years. Basically what we want to make sure is they're being accompanied because unfortunately kids get restless this time of the year sometimes and like to cause mischief, so we got to make sure that they're being accounted for. And if they're going to go out without parents, they're traveling in pairs and large groups with their friends, so nothing happens to them, or if something does, somebody can make a phone call and get appropriate help to whatever they need. And make sure you tell your kids or grandkids that they don't go to houses that are unlit. Right? Basic stuff, common sense that we've talked about over the years, but we get complacent. So if the house isn't lit, move on to the next one. I tell my kids the same thing. If it's not lit, we go on to the next one, okay? And then when you get home with the candy, because you know it's very important, all they want to do is eat it. I know I do when I go trick-or-treating. That you make sure you check it. We haven't had many issues in the last few years, but you never know. So make sure you check the candy, that it's wrapped. There's nothing else in there. If it's open candy or homemade stuff, probably a nice gesture, but you probably should just throw it away unless you really know who that person is if you got something like that. So if it's unopened or if it's opened, just throw it away and move on to something else with the kids. Sometimes that's tough because it could be that the big candy bar, but you got to make sure that you inspect that candy. And if anything happens to them, if they become ill after eating too much candy, make sure you give the doctor a call or give somebody a call and let somebody know if there's an issue. Halloween's a very, very fun holiday, especially for the kids, especially for you guys. Some of these costumes I like his. He looks good. So we guys got to make sure, hey, Hero 6 is good in the back. That's a good one. You going to control her around a little bit later? Yeah. It's always a great holiday. We want people to enjoy, but we want people to be safe. So also with that is if you see something suspicious, you got to give us a call, okay? And some people are like, how do I know it's something suspicious? Halloween is suspicious itself, right? And how many goblins and ghouls are out there every day? But if you see something that goes on that doesn't feel right, doesn't look right, you got to give us a call. We'll come out and give them we'll come out and talk to whoever it is, figure it out if it's an issue or just somebody walking by for Halloween. It is what it is, but we rather have that call to make sure that it is just another trick-or-treater than have it really be a situation that we could prevent, okay? So if you see anything suspicious, just give us a call. If you're being bothered too much and your doors and your unlit home and someone keeps coming to your house, we've had those issues in the past, give us a call.